What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and I'm here today to bring you the Week 8 of the Global Battle Association, the GBA. We are going up against Nips in the Long Island Regirockies, so if you guys are excited, be sure to show some love to that like button, and as always, if you guys are new to the city, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. So, looking at his team, we did prep for 4 out of 6 mons that he did bring. We did prepare for the Flygon, we prepared for Chansey, we prepared for Mega Slowbro, we prepared for Gengar as well. He did not bring the Whimsicott and he did not bring Diggersby, but he did bring in his place for Alligator and Scrafty. So we do see a lot of physical pressure from my opponent's side of the field. We do see a Flygon, we do see a Scrafty, we see that for Alligator. We see the only real special presence he immediately has is the Gengar and possibly a Calm Minding Mega Slowbro. Chansey is there obviously as a cleric, I assume, because he has no other way of doing that on his team outside of the Chansey, and he has no other way of setting up hazards outside of the Chansey as well, so I'm assuming it is a cleric hazard setter. That is what it's primarily going to do. If he does decide to bring a T-Wave set, we do have an Electros that can absorb those, and we have a Natural Cure Roserade as well. So, looking right off at his team, I feel like the best lead, I anticipate a Choice Scarf Flygon. And that is primarily the best lead that my opponent can bring right now. Is just if he is Choice Scarfed, if he knows he's faster than someone on my team, he can just U-turn out of there into a better switch for him, which is definitely something I do anticipate Drew to do, because it's the safest bet, honestly. It's the best way to scout to see what your opponent wants to do. So he leads off with Biopsy, which is the Flygon. I'm going to lead off with Parasite, the Electros. It was the best bet for me as well, because I can take any sort of Dragon-type move. If he goes for an EQ or something, we can take that as well. And he does go for the U-turn right here, and he does reveal Life Orb damage right there. So he is not Scarfed. He's going to cap out at 167 speed if he is a Jolly Max Speed nature, and he's going to go out in a Matilda. Now, because I knew he was going to U-turn, I went for the safest bet in the world, and that was just to knock off what was ever coming in outside of the Mega Slowbro, and we are able to get this thing's EV Light off turn 1. Mistake on my part, I did not speed creep the Chansey like I should have with the Electros, because if I would have been faster than him, I would have been able to 2-hit KO with Superpower right here. We see that does a tremendous amount of damage, but because I did not speed creep the Chansey, he is going to be able to soft boiled up on the next Superpower, which I'm just going to take out, because it doesn't matter if my defense drops, this thing can't touch me outside of a Seismic Toss, I assume. So he's going to soft boiled up. I'm going to get off a second Superpower. I'm going to be at -2 for my attack and my defense. So I don't want to stay in. Even though I am Assault Vested, anything could use a Tackle and I'd be dead. So he's actually going to switch out, and he's going to go out into Omen, which is going to be the Gengar. I'm going to Volt Switch out of here at this point. And now this gives me a free switch in into my answer for Gengar, which is Casaberry Latios. And if you guys did watch Drew's Teambuilder, you do know that his Gengar was the answer for my Latios. Turns out my Latios was the answer to his Gengar. So he's going to go for a Shadow Ball. That's going to pop our Casaberry nice and early. He's going to go for it. Even at a modest Choice Specs range, we still would have lived that. We are going to be able to take that, go for a Psyshock, turn around, get the Gengar out of here immediately. Get that threat gone, because it turns out it was a modest Scarf, and it could 2-hit KO a lot of my mons. So he's going to go out into PD the Mega Slowbro here. I don't know what this thing wants to do to me. I can take about any hit from this thing, and I am bringing Energy Ball for this. I decided Energy Ball over Thunderbolt because Energy Ball does have the 10% chance to drop the special defense, and I'm already going to outspeed this thing naturally, so I'd rather get the special defense drop than paralyze it. Plus, it also hit Diggersby super effectively if he brought it. So I'm going to do over half, and he's going to go for a Calm Mind here. This is where things start to get a little scary, because once this thing starts setting up on me, I don't have my Roar Suicune like I brought the past 2 weeks, so I don't know what to do. So seeing as how Energy Ball did over half, I'm assuming Draco Meteor is going to be able to kill this thing out. So I'm lucky enough, I do connect my Draco Meteor, and I'm able to bring this thing down to very negligible health, probably 5%. He does go for the Slack Off. It was the safest play here. If I was modest, this would have been a much different story, but I wanted to be timid just to speed tie with a unscarfed Gengar. But turns out he brought a Scarf Gengar, so he could have brought Modest, and Casaberry still would have worked. But either way, we are going to be able to go for a Roost here, because I know he wants to Slack Off again. I want to keep Latios. Latios has a lot of answers for his team. Latios has answers for the Feraligatr. It can hit the Chansey with Psyshock. It can hit the Feraligatr with Energy Ball. It can outspeed and do some massive damage to the Scrafty. So I do want to keep that thing as close to full health as possible. So I switch into Parasite here, because I'm going to be able to get super effective damage off with, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Thunderbolt, even at +2, a Quiet Thunderbolt from this Electros is going to do a butt ton of damage. So I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt here. We see that even at +2, that does about 25 to 30%, which is impressive, considering Mega Slowbro's bulk and all. He's going to go for a +2 Psyshock, and that is going to drop the Electros like it was nothing. So, Electros is down for the count. I really need to get this thing out, and I'm thinking maybe a +2 I can take a Scalder, I can take a Psyshock. So, right here I'm going to go into Suicune. I'm going to kind of scout to see the damage output really quickly. I'm going to go for a sub. Maybe he goes for a Slack Off. Maybe he goes for another Calm Mind. Gives me a chance to kind of return counter setup on him. But he does go for the Psyshock. That is going to break my sub. But it turns out, after I ran the calc, that substitute was the better play just to kind of scout. Because a Psyshock would have done a crap ton of damage. Even though I was a max HP, max defense Suicune. So I do need to get residual damage off on this Mega Slowbro if I want it out of here. I do need to start going for Scald Burns here. I do have Hidden Power Grass for damage, but I decided the Scald Burn was much more necessary at this point, considering he can just slack off any damage I give him. So we see, he goes for the Psyshock there. We're going to get a little bit of leftovers recovery, and I'm thinking, streamers, you only got one more turn. You only got one more turn left on this beautiful Earth. I need you to get this Scald Burn and help take down this monster. Fortunately enough, streamers, MVP of the Steel Wings comes through, gets that Scald Burn, and PD goes for another Psyshock. And now PD has taken out two of our teammates right now. So now this thing that is seemingly a wall is now turning around and being the absolute threat of this team. So I'm going to go back out into the blue one here. I'm going to start trying to go for special defense drops with the energy ball, because if I can counter his setup, I can take special attacks from this thing. I cannot take any sort of I can take a special attack from this thing. I needed to get the special defense down low enough to where I could start doing some damage. But we see with the burn, energy ball's doing about 37-38%. With the burn, it's doing about 37%. Burn's doing about 12%. So with the slack off, we're slowly losing a winning battle. We're slowly winning a losing battle because we are stalling him out of slack offs. He's unfortunately stalling us out of energy balls, because as soon as we start to get the special defense drop, we're going to start doing more than his slack off will eventually heal back. So I keep going for energy ball. I'm going to hopefully stall him out of those slack offs. Because like I said, once we get that special defense drop, we're turning our losing the losing battle into winning the losing battle. So we're going to go here. We see the burn damage come off, and I'm thinking burn isn't going to be enough for this thing. I need to get some other form of damage off on this thing. I need to get some more form of residual damage. So I wanted to get him low enough in health to where I could get a safe switch into Roserade, because if he predicted me to switch and goes for a Psyshock, that ruins my plan. Mega Slowbro walls my entire team. So he's going to keep sitting here slacking off. I'm going to keep going for energy balls. I want to put him low enough, like I said, to bring the Roserade in so I can get a Leech Seed off. Giga Drain would have done more damage initially, but I wanted that chip damage just to wear down this wall. He's going to keep going for slack off here. That's absolutely fine. Burn damage keeps coming through. Like I said, it is a little bit of a stall fest between the Latios and the Mega Slowbro. I was aiming for a special defense drop to either force him for a Calm Mind or to kind of put the overall damage rolls back in my favor, because as of right now, with slack off returning more than the burn and the energy ball are doing right now, he is definitely in control of the situation right now. So I'm going to keep, like I said, this is probably, we're halfway through our energy balls and slack offs. He knows he can take one here, so he goes for a Scald because he wants to get some chip damage off on the Latios, which is understandable because that's what I'm trying to do to him. Fortunately enough for me, he does not get the burn. So he's going to be down to about half health. I'm going to go for an energy ball right here. If he wants to go for a slack off, this is going to be the time for him to go for a slack off right here. I also need to roost up because I'm at a very, very negligible health right now. So he's going to be able to get up to about 75%. Burn damage is going to bring him down somewhere in the 60s, upper 50 range. I'm going to keep going for energy ball. Like I said, guys, I need this special defense drop on this thing. I need to have control of the situation again. Otherwise, we're not in a good position for this battle. Because Mega Slowbro will just go through the team. I can't touch it with anything else. Between Psyshock and Scald, it pretty much takes care of the rest of my team. So now that Suicune's gone, so I'm going to keep tossing energy balls his way. Keep tossing energy balls his way. I'm going to put him down under half, and he is going to finally get that special defense drop. But he goes for a Calm Mind the turn to get the special defense drop. So that's good and bad, because now he's not at +3 special defense, but he is at +3 special attack, which is something we do need to be careful for. Burn damage is going to put him down in a very low range of health. I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor here. I'm like, you're at +2. Let me get a high roll Draco Meteor. Let me just do some damage to you right now. Let me take you out right now. He lives on, like, I need to watch his side of the battle. He lives on like 1 or 2 HP. Just absolute garbage amount of HP. That thing should have been dead. Again, if I was modest, these rolls would have been a lot differently. But it is what it is. So he's going to be under half. I know he does not want to, I know he doesn't want to attack, I know he doesn't want to set up, I know he wants to go for another slack off. This is my opportunity to bring in a Roserade on a Mega Slowbro so I can get those Leech Seeds off. I'm going to take the rocks damage that he did set up earlier. He's going to go for the slack off, bringing him back up to around full health. After burn damage will be at roughly 75%, give or take. I'm going to get my Black Sludge recovery, which is good, although I'm not living a +3 Side Shock. I'm probably not living a +3 Skull at this point, so I am able to get Leech Seeds off. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Arceus. I am able to get the Leech Seeds off. 4 more residual damage on this thing. Goes for the Side Shock. Mega Slowbro has now taken out half my team. And this is just incredible because my plan was to capitalize on Mega Slowbro, and now Mega Slowbro is capitalizing on me. So with the burn and with the Leech Seed damage, I am going to bring back in Latios. I know I can take a Side Shock. I know I can take a Scald. I'm going to go for a Roost here. It's going to be my safest play, and I know after the Roost, after the Leech Seed recovery, I'm going to be able to take anything. As long as he doesn't start getting Scald burns, he goes for the Scald here. Side Shock would have done more damage overall, but I do know that he was trying to get that residual damage like I was getting on him. So Leech Seed is going to be good news for us. Mega Slowbro has a crap ton of HP. We're going to be able to get all that lovely, lovely HP back. You guys see we get 25 points back for that. After burn damage, he's under half. I'm going to go for a Roost here again because I know he needs to slack off. Now that I'm getting more residual damage, now that I can get more damage off on him in a turn than he can slack off back, I know that I'm going to be in a good spot. So he goes for another Scald here. We do take it. We live on about half. We do not get the burn, thankfully. We get the Leech Seed recovery, putting us in great range. The Leech Seed are going to bring him down to about 30%, give or take. And then after the burn, he's going to be at a very low amount of health. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not risking Energy Ball not working on me. I'm going to drop another Draco on this guy in this bitch like Poke-Aim. We're going to drop this Draco Meteor, and it is going to finally take out the Mega Slowbro. Oh my gosh. This thing took out half my team, and this was a tremendous learning experience for me as well, figuring out how to deal with these balls that do set up on me. So at this point, he's going to go out into Drano. And I think to myself, what's he going to do? Is he going to knock off? Is he going to Dragon Dance in my face, predicting the switch? So Infernape was the best bet, even at +1. Infernape does outspeed this thing, and I am able to hit this thing super effectively. So he does set up a Dragon Dance here, predicting the switch, which is great because I didn't want to stay in with a Latios on that thing. So he is going to switch out here. He is fearing the close combat. I am able to just fire off a close combat with Infernape, and he sacks off the Chansey. Perfect news for us. This is a huge wall out of our way. It was already whittled down far enough. But without the Eviolite, it wasn't that threatening anymore. On the switch in, we are able to knock that thing out, thankfully. Excuse me. So, we're at -1 defenses. It's not looking good for us. If something does come in and outspeed us. Originally in the match, I did not see the Flygon had Life Orb recoil during my own version of this match. Did not see the Life Orb recoil. I didn't know if this thing was Scarfed. I do fire off a close combat, and after the original Life Orb damage, put him down to about 90% of his health. On a low roll, we do get 88%, so it could have been a higher roll. It could have been anywhere except an absolute low roll on the close combat. We are able to take it out. Goes into Bigfoot Little Toe, and here I'm staying in. I don't want to take an Aqua Jet. I'm just going to go for a close combat and hope he doesn't have Aqua Jet. I am able to fire off a close combat, bringing him down to about 30% of his health, which is great news for us, because now Latios can come in with an Energy Ball and just take care of this thing. He goes for the Waterfall here. If he would have Dragon Danced right here, that would have been the game, because he would have outsped my Latios, he would have outsped this, and then I would have just had to rely on Staraptor. But we are able to go out into the Latios right now. I am able to fire off an Energy Ball. I know I can take an Aqua Jet. I know I can take a Life Orb at him and Aqua Jet. I'm calculating this thing out the entire time. We are able to drop an Energy Ball, and Latios is able to pick up the 3rd kill on Feraligatr, which is awesome. Latios proven how useful it is in the League format. He goes out into the Scrafty here. I can't touch it with an Energy Ball. It's immune to the Side Shock. I just need to drop another Draco on this thing. We are, I believe, 4 for 4 with Draco Meteors this match, which is absolutely awesome. Shout out to Latios. Bringing him down to about 30%. He is going to go for the Dragon Dance here, which is super unfortunate, but he does have a choice here. He can either Dragon Dance one more time, he can either knock off the Kill Me, or he can go for a Drain Punch to get recovery. He does go for the Drain Punch because it is the last mount. He wants to get as much health as possible. It's going to bring him up to about 40-45%. Draco Meteor is going to come through. Even at -2, a Draco Meteor from this thing is still very, very impressive. And I believe we are now 5 for 5 with our Draco count. We are able to bring this thing down to about 5% of its health. We're at -4. Another Drain Punch is going to take me out for sure. So Scrafty's able to pick up the kill on Latios. But now, thankfully for us, we do have our Choice Scarf Staraptor, and even if this thing did Dragon Dance on me one more time, we did have Quick Attack on here for the for any sort of last-ditch efforts like this. This thing's now at +2, +1. We are able to come in with Staraptor, and because he is only at +1, I know we outspeed with the Scarf. I'm just going to fire off a Brave Bird in this thing's face, get it out of here, get it done with, and that is going to be Game 8, win number 2 for your Detroit Steel Wings, guys. If you guys have enjoyed this battle, like I said, be sure to show some love, that like button. All of Nips's links will be in the description. Go check him out, guys. He's a great friend of mine. He's a great guy overall. Definitely show him some love and support. It was a phenomenal battle, and I am definitely looking forward to winning out the rest of the season. My name's Crimson CBAD. I will see you guys next week for Week 9 of the GBA going up against Yo Fizz and the Atlanta Haluchas. Later. Go for the Will-O-Wisp. We connect that Will-O-Wisp. We're going to be able to get that residual 12% off on the Slow King as well. I don't see Prankster Meowstic, Aqua Jet Kabutops, physically attacking Quick Attack Pyro. He leads off with Zone Rotom. Perfect. So, I am free, actually, to just... We can't go for an EQ here. I can go for a Taunt, because I don't think he's going to go for anything.